Hello everyone! We are going to go ahead and get started, so if you're joining us, welcome. If you're watching later, we hope you enjoy it and have some fun. If you do not know who I am, my name is Ashley. I'm the program coordinator here for Winnebago County Extension, and I have my trusty helper, my daughter Lana, helping today. So, you ready? All right, so some of the things you're gonna need today, we're gonna start out with 3/4 cup of applesauce. You're also gonna need 2 tablespoons of glue, so keep in mind these are not edible ornaments. You'll need 1 cup of cinnamon. You can add some additional spices. So today we have ginger, nutmeg, and ground cloves. These are 100% optional, so you do not have to use them. If you choose to use them, you just need about 1 tablespoon of each. And then we have our rolling pin, our bowl, and our wooden spoon. And then you can pick out your own cookie cutters. So today we're gonna have a candy cane, and a reindeer, and a Christmas tree. Those are the ones Lana picked out. So, and then you'll also need either a straw, or you can use toothpicks to create the hole at the top of the ornament, and then some ribbon. And we have some golden green ribbon here today. So, you ready to get started? Mm-hmm. Okay. So first you're gonna wanna take your applesauce, 3/4 cup applesauce, your 2 tablespoons of glue, and your 1 cup of cinnamon, and mix them together.
So first time cinnamon?
Yep, so you can go ahead and start. I did a little trial batch, and I used the applesauce first, and then I put the cinnamon in. And what happened is there was a large cloud of cinnamon that came up. So we did another batch that we tried, and we started with the cinnamon and then added in the applesauce and the glue on top of that, and it kind of helped to keep that cloud of cinnamon down.
Is that good?
Yep, that's good. And then you can add in your glue. You want to use your spoon to kind of scoop that all out?
Sure.
So you can start with mixing these 3 together. And then once they're kind of mixed, then you can go in and add your additional spices if you choose to use those. Again, completely optional. It's kind of a weird consistency, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's fluffy.
It's fluffy, she says, when you first start mixing. So mix it pretty good, and as you mix, I'm going to go ahead and add, this one is our ginger.
Sounds weird.
Yeah, it does. And then we have our 1 tablespoon of nutmeg. Keep mixing. And then we'll add our 1 tablespoon of ground cloves. Does it smell good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strong.
Very strong smelling, it does. Get everything on the bottom. One supply I did forget to mention, you are going to need some wax paper to put your mixture on once it's all mixed up here. You want some help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just try it on the first batch, I think.
You think so?
Yeah.
So we have, like I said, we've kind of experimented with this a little bit. And I have found that the last 2 batches we made were a little too wet. If that's the case, if it feels too wet to you, go ahead and add more cinnamon. If the mixture is too dry, you can add more applesauce. So this one is looking a little more dry than what we've done. Do you want to grab the applesauce and we can add a little bit more in?
Sure.
So I don't know how well you can see this. Ours is kind of crumbly, and you want to be able to form a ball with it.
So, wasn't it, how much was it?
So we used 3/4 cup. Let's just go ahead and dump a little bit in here, and then we'll mix it. We'll start with a little bit. That should be good. And then we can mix that in and see. I think it's starting to kind of stick. You can add some more. It's starting to come together now. Okay. why don't you go ahead and start mixing it with your hands. This is the messy part, but your hands smell really great afterwards. All right, I'll move that out of your way. So she's just kind of mixing it, and what you're gonna wanna do when it's in the bowl is start mixing it and forming a ball so that we can roll it out onto our wax paper. We have sheets of wax paper just already ripped off. If it is too wet, I will warn you, it does rip the wax paper, doesn't it? All right, you wanna try and see if you can make it into a ball? This one may, depending on the size of your cookie cutters, I think last time we got about 6 ornaments out of one batch. So obviously if you want more than that, you can add, make another batch, double your batch up. How's it feel?
Good.
Does it feel less wet than last time?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. That should be good. Okay. Now with your wax paper, got it? All right. With your wax paper, when you lay it down, you are going to want to sprinkle some cinnamon on there. This will prevent your dough from sticking to the wax paper when you roll it out. There you go. And then I also sprinkled it onto our rolling pin just to kind of help prevent it from sticking to the rolling pin. All right, now don't press into it, just kind of lightly roll it out. With this, you're gonna want your ornaments to be about 1/4 inch thick. So if you make them too thin, they're gonna crack once they're dried. If you make them too thick, it's gonna take a lot longer for these ornaments to dry. So they do take 2 to 3 days to fully dry, and in that 2 to 3 day time frame, you're gonna wanna actually rotate the ornaments, turn them every once or twice a day to kind of even out that drying time. I would say our first batch we made on Monday, and they're pretty much dry now. Okay, and then you wanna also go this way and just kind of roll it. If it starts sticking, sprinkle some cinnamon on there. The cinnamon seems to work wonders with not sticking. Okay, does that look good?
Yeah.
All right, which one do you want to do first? Okay, so you can, depending on your cookie cutters, if you want to dip them in some cinnamon to prevent them from actually sticking to your dough, you can do that. We found with ours, we just have some metal ornaments. They don't really stick, and we push them in and then kind of wiggle them a little bit. Okay. Gonna do the reindeer. Now, when you do this, we have also found that once you cut out your ornaments, you're not going to want to try and pick them up and move them because they are wet enough that they will crumble or break. So what we've done is we cut them out and then we kind of peel the dough away from, okay, so this one did stick. This one has like the little antler. So we might want to try dipping that one into some cinnamon. Oh, and the leg stuck. So our reindeer has the little smaller pieces. The leg and the antler are smaller than the rest, and those did kind of peel back out. So if you have it looks like if you have something with more large areas, it won't stick, but these smaller ones might. And then the head came out. So we can try. How about we try our Christmas tree? So as I was saying, when you go to pull away the dough, leave the actual ornament part on the wax paper, and then roll your dough out onto a new sheet of wax paper so that you don't actually have to move the wet ornaments. All right, you want to peel this stuff away from those like we did before? Yeah, you can just, yep, and then throw it back in the bowl. Is it a little more dry than before?
A little bit.
A little bit? Want some more? All right, so what's our next step? Do you remember?
Oh, put holes.
Yep. So we don't have straws. We're just going to use a toothpick when we do the hole part. When you make the holes, you're going to want to be sure that they're not too close to the edge, because we did find that being too close to the edge, it can actually...
use this?
Yeah, absolutely. When you go to put the string through the hole, it can break if there's not enough space there. So when you put your holes in there, be sure that they're not too close to the edge of the ornament. You get it? Good job. All right, you want to make the holes on there?
Sure.
Good. So we did make a couple ahead of time, like I said, and when your ornament is dry, this is what it's going to look like. You can see there's a hole in the top. You don't have to decorate them. We did go ahead and do some. This one we did go ahead and decorate. We used a 3D fabric paint. It took 24 hours to dry on the ornament, and it seems to be working really well and adds a little character. But you absolutely do not have to decorate them. And they smell really good. Your house is going to smell delicious. All right, how do they look?
Good.
Pretty good? All right, so we've got just a couple ornaments done. That's the gist of it. Once your ornament has sat for 2 to 3 days and you've rotated it, it should be dry enough that you can decorate it and go ahead and string some string, ribbon, yarn through it, and hang it up on your tree or around your home. And anything to add? Did I forget anything? No? No? Well, if you are making them at home or you're doing this later with your family, send us pictures of you making them. Send us pictures of them hanging up in your home, and let us know what you thought. So we hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday weekend, and we will talk with you all soon. Bye!